Dear students, today I am going to teach you second lesson in English known as Sir C.V. Raman. So Sir C.V. Raman was a great scientist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work on scattering of light and his discovery of the effect of light rays, which is known as Raman effect. The government gifted him 25 acres of land to carry out further research work. Raman Institute was the dream child of Sir C.V. Raman. So this is a small introduction regarding Sir C.V. Raman, children. Now I read first paragraph and second paragraph. Listen to me carefully. Now first paragraph. Sir C.V. Raman was born on November 7th, 1888 in Tiruchi. He was the son of Chandrasekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Chandrasekhar Iyer was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Visakhapatnam. Raman studied there at the Hindu College High School. He was very much interested in science from his boyhood days. Even as a boy, he had made the model of a dynamo. During his school days, he borrowed science books from college students and read them. Thus, from his early days, he showed great interest in science. Unfortunately, he used to fall sick every now and then, and he was not able to attend school regularly. Paragraph, we can see that Sir C.V. Raman was born on 7th November in the year 1888 at a place called Tiruchi, and his father was Chandrasekhar Iyer and mother was Parvati Ammal. His father Chandrasekhar Iyer was a professor at a Hindu College, Visakhapatnam, and Raman studied at a Hindu College High School. When he was a young boy, he showed much interest in science. So, as he had interest in science, even as a boy, he made the model of a dynamo. And not only that, even he borrowed science books from college students and he used to read those books in order to gain more and more knowledge in science. So all these activities of Sir C.V. Raman shows that Sir C.V. Raman had great interest in science. But unfortunately, now and then used to fall sick. As a result of this, he was unable to attend the schools regularly. So he couldn't learn the lessons regularly. It's because of his health upset. Second paragraph, children. In spite of his poor health, he got first class in his matriculation examination when he was only a boy of 12. He passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College and joined Presidency College, Madras for his BA. His relatives wanted him to give up science and take history and economics as his special subjects for BA. Since Raman had made up his mind to study science, he took physics. He passed his BA, securing the first rank, earned a number of prizes. He passed his MA in physics in January 1907. In second paragraph, it has been explained that though Raman was suffering from ill health, he passed his matriculation examination in first class. At that time, he was only a boy of 12 years. And not only that, he passed his intermediary examination from Hindu College. After passing his intermediary examination, he joined the Presidency College at Madras for his BA. But his relatives wanted him to give up science, and they wanted Sir C.V. Raman to learn history and economics as special subjects for BA. But as Raman was very much interested in science, and not only that, he made up his mind to study science. So therefore, he took physics as subject in BA and passed BA by securing first rank. And after that, he received so many prizes. And not only that, he also passed MA in physics in the year 1907 in the month of January. Third paragraph. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science. But his health broke down again and he could not go. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. His relatives asked him to give up his study of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. Raman did so and got along well with his new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examinations and was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. His relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. But Raman was not happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of a Deputy Accountant General? He felt like a fish out of water in his new post, but he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. In third paragraph, it has been explained that Raman wanted to go to United States for his higher studies in science after his MA. But he could not go to United Kingdom as his health was again upset, and it was the greatest disappointment in the life of C.V. Raman. Simultaneously, his relatives asked him to stop studying science and to take up history and economics for competitive examinations in Calcutta. But Raman was very much interested in science. Even then, he wrote the competitive examination and became successful, got first place in competitive examinations, and was appointed as Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. His relatives were very happy as Raman was appointed as a Deputy Accountant General and he was well settled in life. But Raman was not so happy with the post of Deputy Accountant General because he wanted to become a scientist. Therefore, he was not interested to work as a Deputy Accountant General. Thereby, he felt like a fish out of water in his new post. And he had still hope that he would become scientist and he was waiting for the opportunity. Fourth paragraph. Even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with scientists and took interest in science. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a banner outside a building on which was printed the Indian Association of Scientists. At the sight of that banner, Raman got off the moving train and went to meet the scientists who had gathered in that building. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon, he learned that an institution had bought a piece of modern scientific apparatus. He hurriedly put on his clothes and went to have a look at it. Such was the interest he had in science. The following examples shows that Raman had good interest in science. Even though he worked as Deputy Accountant General, he showed much interest towards science. Therefore, he used to mix with the scientists, he used to meet the scientists. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a board which was printed as the Indian Association of Scientists. As soon as he saw the board, he got down from the moving train to meet the scientist at that building. So, this is one example to show how much interest C.V. Raman had in science. And not only that, one more example. So, when he was in Rangoon, one exhibition was held with regard to modern scientific apparatus. So, he went there and saw all the scientific apparatus that were exhibited in the exhibition. All these shows that Raman had very good interest in science. Fifth paragraph. In 1911, Raman was appointed Special Accountant General for Posts and Telegraphs in Calcutta. But when he was offered the post of professor at Calcutta University, he jumped at that offer and accepted the post gladly. After working at Calcutta University for 15 years, he became the director of the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. Raman resigned his post at the Indian Institute of Science and became the director of the Research Institute. Here he conducted his research in physics until his death. In 1911, Raman was appointed as Special Accountant General in the Post and Telegraph Department at Calcutta. Later on, he got an opportunity to work as a professor at Calcutta University. Thereby, he resigned the post of Special Accountant General and joined as professor at Calcutta University. Later on, he got one more opportunity to work as the director of Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore. So in this way, he worked in different departments. In the year 1948, Raman Research Institute was started, and he got an opportunity to work as the director of the Research Institute. In this institute, he conducted experiments as well as research work in physics until his death. So all these shows that how much interest Raman had in science. Sixth paragraph. Raman was a great scientist. Throughout his life, he was intensely attached to science. For the sake of science, he gave up the highly paid post of the Special Accountant General and accepted a professorship at Calcutta University. Who would forget all about food and rest while he was at work, and his wife had often to tell him that his breakfast or coffee was getting cold. Like all great scientists, Raman had a lot of curiosity. Earlier in his life, while on a voyage to Europe, he saw the wonderful blue of the Mediterranean Sea. This led to his work on the laws of light scattering in liquids, and it ended in his discovery of the Raman effect. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for this in 1930. Raman was a great scientist. Throughout his life, he had a great passion towards science. And there are some examples to show that how much passion he had towards science. One example is that he resigned the post of Special Accountant General and accepted to work as a professor in Calcutta University. So whenever he used to work at that time, he used to forget to have food and to take rest. So sometimes his wife used to tell him that his breakfast coffee was getting cold. So like other scientists, Raman too had great curiosity with regard to science. Once, while he was traveling to Europe on a voyage, he saw the blue Mediterranean Sea, and that influenced him to work on the laws of light scattering in liquids. And later on, he discovered the Raman effect, for which he got Nobel Prize in the year 1930. So this was the great achievement of Sir C.V. Raman. Seventh paragraph. Raman was a kind man. He helped people when they were in difficulty. When he was working as the Deputy Accountant General, a villager went to him with some badly burnt 100-rupee notes. Any other person perhaps would have turned the villager away, but Raman took pity on the villager, examined the notes himself, and allowed the villager to exchange the burned notes for few new ones. Once at the Raman Research Institute, a candidate was not given admission as he did not do well in his tests. When his traveling allowance was paid, the candidate found that he had received more. He returned to the office to pay back the excess amount. When Raman came to know of this, he liked the candidate's honesty and admitted him to the institute. The candidate was not able to make out why he was admitted when he had not done well in his test. It seems Raman told the candidate, I have admitted you to the institute because of your character. You are not very good at physics, but I can teach you. Raman was not only a scientist, but he was also a kind man. There are so many examples to show that Raman was a kind man. One example for this, when he was working as the deputy accountant general, he helped many people who were in difficulty. Once what happened, a villager went to Raman with burnt 100 rupee notes. So Raman what he did is he took those burnt 100 rupee notes and exchanged them with new notes. This shows that Raman was a kind man. And one more example, one candidate who wanted to take admission in the Raman Research Institute did not do well in the test. So, admission was not given to that candidate. When he was given traveling allowance to go back to his native place, at that time the candidate received more money or excess money. Therefore, the candidate came back to Raman and he told about this to Raman. Now Raman observed the honesty of the candidate and he gave admission to the boy in the Raman Institute. But that boy could not understand why Raman gave admission to him. So thereby Raman told that even though he did not do well in the test, the two in physics subject, due to his good character, he was given admission. That candidate was very poor. It was also told to the candidate, and Raman told that he would teach physics to that candidate. So this is what is generosity of Raman towards such people. Eighth paragraph. During his lifetime, Raman received a number of honors and medals. In 1929, he was knighted by King George V and became Sir C.V. Raman. A number of universities honored him with doctorates. He was a member of many international scientific organizations. In 1954, the government of India awarded him Bharat Ratna. In 1957, the Soviet Union honored him by awarding the International Lenin Prize. C.V. Raman received large number of honors and medals during his lifetime. One example for that, in 1929, the King George V honored C.V. Raman with the title known as Sir and thereby C.V. Raman became Sir C.V. Raman. And another example to show that how many awards and rewards were received by Sir C.V. Raman. So, in the year 1954, the government of India awarded Bharat Ratna to Sir C.V. Raman. And simultaneously, in the year 1957, Soviet Union honored Sir C.V. Raman by awarding the International Lenin Prize. So, they are the awards and rewards received by Sir C.V. Raman. Not only that, even Sir C.V. Raman worked as a member of many international scientific organizations. So, they are the achievements of Sir C.V. Raman. Ninth paragraph, the last paragraph. Raman died on November 21st, 1970 at the age of 82. In his death, India lost one of her great sons and the world a great scientist. In the year 1970, at the age of 82, Raman passed away on November 21st. As a result of this, India had lost one of her great sons and the world has lost one of the greatest scientists. So, in this way, in the year 1970, Raman died, and it was a great loss to not only to India, even it was a great loss to entire world, because Raman was such a scientist who had great passion towards science. So, this is all about the story of Sir C.V. Raman. Children, I hope that you have understood the lesson. Thanks a lot.